Up as myself today too. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So welcome to 1 Million Cups. 1 Million Cups is a nonprofit organization organized by the Confident Foundation. And what we do is we like to get together every single Wednesday and try to support entrepreneurs of our community. The Confident Foundation was started in Kansas City, and now we are nationwide. Not in quite every state yet, but in most states. And so far, what does that say? 23,000 attendees nationwide, and really working on trying to get to that 1 millionth cup. Also, make sure you download our app so we can check in and give the presenters anonymous feedback. And also, I want to welcome Confident Concoctions with Felicia and Summer.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Summer Allen.
I'm Dr. Felicia Bassett.
And thank you for sitting through our presentation this morning. We are Confident Concoctions. We provide a customizable natural hair care solution with real results. And so one of the challenges that we find, especially in the natural community, is there are a lot of products out there that are available, but none of them actually touch on the aspect of who I am as a consumer, my hair type, how I style my hair. So what we do is we provide a customizable solution that takes the consumer into consideration that actually provides real results for that customer. So one of the challenges, products don't work. Again, there are tons of products on the market. One of the reasons Felicia actually started the product is because she had a daughter. And when she had her daughter, she realized that her daughter's hair was a lot different than hers. And so she went through all these different products. I went through the natural process almost during the same time. And so I was going through all these different products. We'd swap products. I say, hey, this doesn't work for me. She's like, okay, well, here, try this because it didn't work for me and it didn't work for Leah. And we went through all these different products and nothing actually worked. The only thing we wanted was a little shine. We wanted our hair to be twisted out and we wanted to feel good about ourselves. But we couldn't find the right products to actually get those results we were looking for. We were unable to style on the go. The natural hair process, we talk to women, and it can take 2 days to do your hair sometimes. When it comes to the tangling process, the washing process, the twisting process, it's a long and arduous process. So one of the things we wanted to do is create products that were simple and easy, that could be used on the go, that could simplify, detangle the hair, and make your process something you actually want to do and more manageable. We got into this huge cycle of product junkiism, where you look under our pantry and you see under a bathroom pantry, you see almost upwards of 50 different products. And guess what? We weren't using any of them. And we talked to our friends and everyone had the same experience. We had all these different products like these hand knives and you're just not able to use them because either they'll work for a few days and then they won't, or they just never worked, but what can you do at that point? And one of the things we did find out is there's a few stores that now take products back because they know the struggle is so real. And the cost became so high with over 50 different products ranging from $5 upwards to $25 per product. It's just very expensive. And so the solution that we wanted to provide was products that were made from true science and research, that were made with natural ingredients, that are customizable, that you just don't pull off the shelf. You actually go online and you take an assessment and we learn a little bit about you and your hair so that you can pick the right solutions and products for your hair. We also created a regimen system, and so it's not just, hey, here is a full line of products, you as a consumer, you figure it out. No, what we wanted to do is we wanted to create solutions that met how you wear your hair. So each one of the regimen systems are designed if you wear your hair natural, a twist out, if you wear your hair natural and you do a wash and go. If you wear your hair in dreads, we have something for that. So we have lines and different products that are placed in systems based on how you actually wear your hair and how you style it. Another thing that we do that's a little unique from other hair care companies is we offer consultations to our customers. Again, the hair journey is a very complex one. Women usually have lots of questions and don't necessarily know what to do with their hair. So one of the things is we have different products, so we want to help you through that product line and help you really understand how best to use the products. So it's not just an instruction guide in there, there's actually a human being on the other end of those products that can help you better understand how to use the products. All right, right, so how it works, again, a little unconventional from what you're probably used to seeing when it comes to hair care products. The first thing our customers do is they go online to www.confidentconcoctions.com and they take an online hair assessment. In this assessment, it asks you, tell me how you wear your hair, how do you style your hair, tell me the texture of your hair. And so these different things help us really create the actual regimen that we recommend for them. Customers can buy individual products, but we also provide that customization of here's the system that would best work for you based off the information that you've given us. And so at that point, we customize it. When it comes to the customization, again, it's all the way down to the style and even the scent. So the customer can choose the scent that they like. Because usually when you buy a product off the shelf, you only get what that company gives you. But here, you can choose a multitude of scents that best fit you, and you can work through the products to see what you like best. And last but not least, again, what differentiates us from other hair care companies is you actually get real results. But again, it's because the products were designed for you as an individual.
Okay, so as Summer was saying, in the system, when you do your hair assessment, it generates a unique code for your hair type, what you're looking for, and it's based on the numbers of our different products. So just because we're both natural don't mean our hair needs the same type of products. It also depends on your scalp. Your hair goals are also different. So your number system could be a 4, 2, 3, and a 5, which hers may be 1, 0, 6, or 7, which really is the differentiation, even though we have the same hairstyles and textures. So there they can do that, excuse me. And like she was saying, one of the unique things is that the customization, the consultation there too. So from our systems that we like to provide, we've seen that hair care is a $2.5 billion industry. And in that industry, African American women is paid 9 times more for ethnically targeted grooming and beauty products, which allows us to have a really healthy, sizable margin there. So one of our go-to-market strategies, we know that hair is a big business, but it's also very personal, it's emotional, and it's very psychological. It's a big part of who we are, our identity, and our confidence. Hence the reason why we named this brand Confident Concoctions. And one of the things that we find is the greatest challenge is education. With so many women, we're desperately looking for solutions. We Google stuff, we social media stuff, we try DIY things. We hear people put eggs in their hair, mayonnaise, anything to really try to help that hair flourish and grow. So one of the big things we want to do is really partner with influencer marketers, find great bloggers and vloggers who really understands this brand. Then also using sponsored ads to really micro-target our audience down to their age, their geographical location. We have a lot of traction coming from Texas, Ohio, Georgia, New York, and even some international countries who are really starting to find us and ask us more questions, engage with us. Part of our affiliate and ambassador program is really based on affiliates can go into our system, they sign up for an account, it generates a unique code once they're family friends.
Thank you. All right, we'll now open up the floor for questions. Don't be shy, we'll come around with the microphone and allow you to ask your question. But our first question to you all is always, what can we as a community do for you?
So as a community, we are looking for partnerships because we are a natural hair care line. We're always looking to control our supply chain from natural suppliers down to packaging, labeling, anything like that, but also investments. We are fundraising right now in terms of ways to better enhance our technology, and also with brand ambassadors. We are looking for people who want to partner with us, and revenue share as part of our business model is 10% part of our sales, and up to double that depending on the sales that that person can also generate.
Excellent. Does anybody in the audience have a question?
Hi there.
Hi.
Let me see how I can ask you this question. I'm kind of in the middle. You can see my hair. It's naturally curly. So most products on one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum don't work for me specifically. So have you guys, you obviously have a target market. Is that going to be your focus? Have you guys internally maybe talked about expanding? If you are, what types of talks have you had? I'm just kind of curious.
This woman right here absolutely is going to expand. We have products for all ethnicities, to be honest with you. So we even have them on our website. As you address, we do have a very specific target audience that we are focusing on, just for the lack of products that work within that target audience, but we do have products for everyone. Another aspect that we're moving into is men's hair care product line. It's another aspect. When we started it, we didn't even have men on the radar, but as we go to different trade shows, we have a lot of men that come up to us. And the biggest focus when it comes to men are beards, so the treatment of the beards. So we actually have beard treatments as well as treatments for men's hair. And then eventually we want to move into full body. So we have long-term plans, but we really just want to kind of penetrate the market with the natural hair care line.
Good job.
Thank you.
2 questions. First, how far along are you? I mean, are you selling right now? That's my impression, or?
Yes.
Yes,
Can you
we're
talk more about
currently
that?
selling. So since we've launched, we've earned about over $7,000 in revenue without any marketing.
Okay, and you launched when?
Last year, October.
So 1 year.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 1 year.
Yes.
Okay, but also question 2 is, what are your backgrounds?
I am a doctor of physical therapist, and I am a hair loss specialist,
Which means what?
which means I am certified to look at your hair, your scalp, to help you diagnose what problems or issues you may have, and then I can build you separate products. If we don't have something that fits you, I will build it for you. I actually formulate all of our products, source them, and build them.
Please read your pitch.
Okay, thank you.
That was kind of my question. How long did it take you from your first R&D thought to the launch of your first line?
I built my first product in like 4 months.
Yeah.
I have extensive background in anatomy, physiology, pharmacology. So I used all of that to really put it together to really build it. I actually scope people's hair. I have my scope here if you're interested. And I can literally tell you what's going on from a scalp level. Sometimes I can tell you if you're vitamin deficient also too, just by looking at your scalp. Things like that.
Thank you.
Mhm.
How many products do you actually have created so far? Do you create them per person that comes in with the assessment, or are they already created?
So right now we have popular products that we create. So right now we have about 12, 13 products. There's about 6 more in R&D. We're actually beta testing at least 3 of them.
All right, I happen to have a question.
Sure.
Could you talk a little bit about the manufacturing process and how you're able to bottle and get all these products ready to sell?
Well, we have about 6 of us. So we'll have a phone call in the party like, hey, we need help bottling, packaging, labeling. Anybody can help today. When we get ready for trade show, we send out a blast and say, hey, is anybody available? Can you help us? Can you pack up our cars? We're headed to Austin, we're headed to Houston, wherever. So that's kind of how we do it.
So we do it in-house right now.
We have a question in the front.
Yeah, so I know you guys mentioned that you guys have been out for about a year now. So when you guys first got started, like on that first month, couple months, how did you guys get that word out there to, attract your first 7,000 in revenue?
Trade shows.
Just
That was
trade
the biggest,
shows.
yeah, we found natural hair care or any type of hair care convention, and we set up a booth there and we just talked to different women. It was really, what really connected us with our audience was the educational piece. Again, she has a lot of background, and women just needed information. So providing that information provided a lot of the trust. And so they started buying the products, and then word of mouth was the second aspect of it. Yeah, that was the biggest component. And then we launched the social media.
Gotcha. So was there a reason that you guys chose not to do the paid advertising?
Really to build that trust. With brands and ambassadors really kind of getting under the spotlight of being distrustful, being paid for that sponsorship, we really wanted to make people understand we really care about them. And with the hair assessment, it's really a close kind of personal thing that we really wanted to build and then build it up.
Gotcha. So you guys don't pay any of your sponsors, any influencers?
No.
No, only thing they can do is generate revenue from the revenue shares of what they push.
We have time for one more question. All right.
Hello guys. So how do you plan on scaling the consultation aspect of it? So say that your revenue stream moves over the next month or two to 14,000 or 7,000 a month. How do you plan on scaling that consultation?
So this consultations are going to be planned to be remote. So in the system, you can do video chats, we do calls, we do text. People call me all times of hours. So with our program as well, we're looking to also partner with hair schools, trichology programs to also help those graduates get jobs as well as being part of it.
So it almost functions as the affiliate program for hairstylists and for, like you said, kids who are coming out of hair school. So they work and make revenue as stylists and doing it remote. And anytime they block their own hours, they can do consultations during those times.
It's the Uber for hair.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. That's all the time we have for questions. We appreciate it. If you still have questions, stick around afterwards and they'll be able to answer all your questions.
All right, thank you guys. I want to give a big thanks to Michael Brunner, who is our video sponsor. He's the one recording all the 1 Million Cups events. Also want to give a big thank you to the Capital Factory and the deck, and we're going to have Jinga come up and talk about the Capital Factory, about the deck, and I'm going to give a couple of words about the Capital Factory. She's on her way up. The Capital Factory is about being part of a community. They meet the best entrepreneurs in Texas and introduce them to their first investors, mentors, and customers. They serve tech startups in all stages. If you'd like a tour, please see Oren. He'll be giving a tour at 10:20. Just go over there, sign in. They also offer free co-working on Wednesdays. There are some rules about them. I'm sure Oren will be happy to tell you all the rules. So this is going to be Jinga, and she's going to be talking about what the deck is and how they help entrepreneurs here in Dallas.
Hi, I really like the product, by the way. I want to learn a little bit more about it. I'm Jigna. I am the Director of Events and Programs at the DEC, which is the Dallas Entrepreneur Center. We are a nonprofit, and we help entrepreneurs start up, build, and grow their business, and we do that through community, mentorship, advocacy, and education. We partner with the Capital Factory here in this location, and we also have other innovation hubs throughout Dallas, one being in Addison, and partner with the Addison Tree House there, as well as we have a grand opening of the Redford Center that's actually tomorrow. So we'll have some great innovation hubs, as well as our West End location, which was our original location. So come find us online, LinkedIn, Facebook. We're also, if you'd like to get plugged in, want to know what community events that are taking place, go to thedeck.co and sign up for a newsletter. We won't bombard you, I promise. It's once a week, but it's got really good information on some great community events that you can participate in. Thank you.
Thanks, Jinga. All right, now the next sponsor I want to talk about is actually responsible for bringing the coffee every Wednesday. So give him a big round of applause. This is Michael with the Laughlin Commercial Realty Group.
Hey guys, my name is Michael Miller with Laughlin Commercial Realty Group. What we do is we help companies find co-working and office space. So whenever you guys are ready to find office space, I want to be your guy to help you. So I'll be here after the presentations. I'd love to talk to you guys. Hope you all drink all the coffee. We have way too much, so please drink some. Thank y'all.
All right, now for our next presenter, we got Shaz with Woofowear. Shaz with Woofowear.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing? You know, I actually used to work at the old deck, so it's actually really refreshing to see everything's like much nicer now. Yeah, and just like the ladies before, we're actually supposed to have one other person with me. He's actually just supposed to be parking now, so he should be coming up. So I'll start kind of half the presentation, and then he should come out like from the back. So currently in the United States, there's over 90 million households with at least one dog. And kind of on the opposite side of that spectrum, the Apple Watch is one of the fastest growing products in its product category. So we kind of decided to merge the two. Now, what that means is Apple Watch bands specifically targeted towards the dog niche. And what we noticed is a lot of these people are very, very engaged. So it's a very engaged audience, and it was a very accessible audience. And kind of to give a little bit of a background of how we even started, kind of how I got the idea, it kind of started about a year ago. And long story short, I used to work at a company in Fort Worth as a software dev. And just one day, around the time that the Apple Watch Series 3 had come out, it was actually a pretty big time, because it was the first time in history that you could actually make phone calls directly from the watch. Apple had actually found the capability to put a cellular chip on the watch. So one of my coworkers had just gotten the watch, and I was kind of talking to him. He's kind of showing me like all the really cool features, and he's like, just showing me all the tips and all the cool new features. And I kind of asked him, I was like, can't you kind of change out the bands on those? And he's like, yeah, you can, but that's not really why I bought it, and I'm not really too much interested into that. But my wife is. She loves to she loves to mix and match the bands with her outfits. And I kind of started thinking, I was like, okay, well, how many bands does she have? Does she have one for each outfit, or how does that work? Well, he was like, she has actually like 5 or 6 different bands that she loves to color coordinate. And that kind of got me thinking some more. Emerging market number 1, Apple Watch. And if you look back at when the iPhone first got started, iPhone really didn't get adoption until iPhone 4, right? iPhone 4 came out, and then everyone started selling iPhone cases. And now literally every company sells iPhone cases. So kind of with that thinking in mind, I decided to put up a small little website. I sourced some cheap Chinese knockoffs, which I'm not proud of. And I just want to see a test of concept, or I want to see, did these sell, rather than spending so much time in R&D that we kind of missed the market. I just wanted to see, do people want this? And if they do, who's buying it? How much are they willing to spend? What materials are they buying? All of those things, right? So when we did go into the real branding, that we would know exactly what to do. We'd have that customer insight. So in our first month, we sold about 50 watch bands, which probably is not like a lot, but it was a lot to me. And that kind of proved that the concept that people actually wanted this product. And mainly it was just through small Facebook ads, didn't spend too much. And kind of with that in mind, I started thinking long term. I started thinking, do I really want to be the guy that sells cheap Chinese knockoffs? Or how can I build for the long term, right? In 3 to 5 years, when the Apple Watch is on par with the iPhone, or even better in my opinion, how can I be first to market with that, right? And what are the holes in the industry? What are the holes in the market? And what are people and these other companies that are selling these not doing, okay? So that's kind of where that concept came about. So a little bit before we talk about how it works right now, kind of the idea of how we got started was, it was actually a long process. That first month of sales didn't actually translate straight from there. It wasn't like dominoes from there. It was actually a long period that we actually decided to look at analytics. We started to look at industry trends. We started to look at all of these different things, all while working a full-time job, as most entrepreneurs do, just working nights and weekends. So kind of when it came to that time that we knew what kind of market we wanted to target, we had the branding right, that's kind of how we could move forward. So a little bit about how the process works right now. We've got it to where if you go to our website, woofowear.com, you pick the band that you want, and then you tell us which flavor. So that's really kind of the branding aspect of it. We don't go by colors or designs, we call them flavors. So flavors in terms of, we have some, they're actually all named after candy flavors. So it's the inspiration of high-end candies and chocolates to kind of relate it to a high-end, desirable item. Like everyone loves cotton candy, everyone loves chocolate, truffle, all of these things. So that's kind of how we try to relate to it. So on our website, the customer goes, they pick the flavor that they want, they pick the name for the engravings, and then we actually are still working on a system to where we can actually live stream the engraving process to them, since we have all the lasers in-house at our facility in Carrollton that we use. So, and then on the way, customers receive text updates and emails, of course, on the shipment, and it comes in this nice little red box, and there it is. So here's a little picture of the engravings. You can see we have it on the bed with our template, and then we're still working on that live stream feature. Yep.
All right, thank you, Shaz. We will now open up the floor for questions. But our first question to you is always, what can we as a community do for you?
Absolutely. So I would say the biggest thing for a startup or any startup is really just if you know someone that would be a great fit for the product, just share the word, right? Just tell someone. And one other thing that we've been having a pretty big problem with is our cleaning process. So when we do engrave these our watch bands, they're made of silicone rubber. So the cleaning process can be extremely lengthy. We went through all different types of cleaning processes just to cut down the amount of time. If it takes like 30 to 40 seconds to engrave, it takes almost an hour to clean each one. So it's a pretty lengthy process.
All right, thank you. Does
Yeah.
anybody in the audience have any questions?
Couple questions. One
Mhm.
is, when did you start selling the product? And second, can you explain the sales distribution strategy?
Absolutely. So when we did our rebrand with the fully branded website, we've actually just launched beginning of this month. And we've done about $1,500 in sales, and that's mainly through Facebook and Instagram. So that's paid ads and influencers.
Hi there. I know how you iPhone people are, but for the rest of us who like superior phones and superior watches, does it work with Samsung and Garmin and all that kind of stuff?
That's a great question. So we really wanted to target our research and development on the biggest smartwatch, which is the Apple Watch, but on our horizon is the Samsung Watch, because just like how we talked about emerging market, if the Apple Watch isn't available on Android, right, for those of you guys who are on Android, so you can't get that watch, and Apple is probably not going to allow that. So Samsung Watch is probably going to be the other Android watches are probably going to be the biggest in that category. So those are what we're working on next. Yeah.
All right, I have a question.
Mhm.
I noticed that there is one name engraved on that band, but is
There's
there an
actually
option?
two.
Could you?
There's two. It says Marina X Lux. It's kind of hard to see, I know.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So it would be my name and my pet's name on my band.
Yeah, and one thing that we've really noticed within this whole month is that we have gotten quite a few people that are interested in not just engraving their pet's name, but engraving like their own name, engraving their child's name, engraving other names. And I think that's something that we've explored to do maybe a different collection, but it still has that candy band theme, right? So maybe having the candy band principle come first, and then the pets niche come afterwards. Yes.
What is the price point?
Yeah. So the price point is ranged from $39.99 to $59.99. Yeah.
I may have missed this, but is there like a dog collar that goes with it? Or
Everyone loves to ask that, but no, there isn't. Literally, when we were in the R&D process, I literally went through 30 different designers. It looks like a pretty simple design, but it took a lot of time and effort to get that design just right. And a lot of people, designers mainly, love to say, you should match this with a dog collar or match it with a dog toy, but a lot of people think that the product is very dog-centric. It's actually very human-centric with a dog touch, with that emotional touch, right? It's the feeling that you get when you remember your dog, you know? And the feeling that you get when you come home and your dog, you know, is really the most happy person to see you, right? A lot of people say if you could be half the person that your dog thinks you are, then, you know, everything would be great. So it's kind of that, an ode to that. It's more of a symbolic gesture than anything else.
Are the names, if you didn't want to do a name, or is it customizable to like?
Yeah, characters. You can do up to 12 characters per name. So although we call it a name, you can actually put any character up to 12. Yeah.
All right, we have time for a few more questions.
Have you thought about maybe a medic alert stamp?
Sorry?
A medic alert stamp? Have you thought about that?
Like engraving it?
Mm-hmm. The circle.
Like a medical, can you tell me a little bit more about that? Yeah.
Like for diabetes, people that have heart problems.
Oh,
You know.
actually we hadn't thought of that, but that's actually a really interesting idea. We should probably...
Allergies.
Yeah, we should talk about that after. Yeah. That would be really cool, actually. Wow, look at that. Allergies, wow.
Okay, we have time for one or two more questions. Yes.
Of course, in today's world, I Googled engraved watch bands on Google, and I saw Amazon has something for $26. Are you considering going to like Amazon to do a third-party setup?
We actually are working on being on Amazon, but in our flavor selection right now, we have about 9 color sets. So there are 9 designer curated sets of candy bands that we thought about putting maybe the top 2 or top 3 most popular on Amazon to kind of get the name out there at first, and then having the full collection at our website. So definitely, yes, we have thought about it, and Etsy as well.
Excellent. Could you talk a little bit about the manufacturing process? You mentioned having to clean the engraving.
Absolutely. So we have a CO2 laser, and Rob would be really good to talk about this. We have a 1,000th of a point CO2 laser that we use. It's called the Epilogue laser that we use to create all of our watch bands and all of the engravings. So you can kind of see the image right here where we have the template with the bed, and that's not a video, but if it was, then you could see actually the laser going over and engraving. It's actually really cool to see. That's kind of how we want to build that experience into it, is since we have the lasers on site, we can actually attach cameras and build that experience to where we can add animations and make it kind of like a theater presentation with our mascot. So, yeah. Does that kind of answer the question?
Yes, thank you. And we have time for one last question.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I just wanted to know, how long does the process take from ordering to actually receiving your band in the mail?
How long does it take for the customer or for us?
For the customer.
Yeah, for the customer, so we say it takes about 1 to 2 days for us to complete an order, and for the customer, and then to ship out, it takes about 4 to 5 days. So about 5 to 7 days from order to your doorstep. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much. That is the end of our Q&A session.
Thank you. Might have to get a couple of them for myself. All right, so today we have some announcements. On November 14th, we have a very special 1 Million Cups. We're actually going to be inviting our past presenters to share an update on what they're up to. So it'll be our 5-year anniversary celebration on November 14th, so mark your calendars, please show up, it's going to be amazing. This weekend we have Girls in Tech, which is November 2nd through 3rd. It's here, it's a hackathon, it's open to any gender, and Monica will be your contact if you want to get more details on that. And then if you want to check out Startup Weekend in Fort Worth, that's November 9th through 11th. It's like a hackathon, but for all disciplines. So that completes us for 1 Million Cups. I'm very excited to see everyone on next Wednesday. Thank you.